What's up, guys? How's it going? It is Matt here. So today I want to talk about the importance of bullseye training. So the actual title of the video is going to be bullseye training versus tactical training. You need both, but the one that is pretty much more important than the two of them combined would definitely be the bullseye training, and I'm going to talk about why this is, in my opinion, why the bullseye training is very important. But first things first, guys, this video is brought to you by Call Beyond Duty Coffee. They are coffee for veterans and first responders, built by veterans and first responders, and it's good coffee. So down below in the description you will see a link. Go check them out and get yourself a sample pack. All right? Now, in the tactical world, when it comes to YouTube videos and whatnot, most of these people that do the tactical shooting and stuff like that, they focus on steel targets, big targets. They're more focused on like IPSC shooting and IDPA shooting, about running around, shooting behind cover, hitting the targets left and right, and going as fast as they possibly can, pulling it from the holster as fast as they possibly can. And that is what their primary focus, and they teach that on a daily basis. But when we were in the military, there's a couple things that I wanted to talk about, that how we did it. Tactical training is obviously important when it comes to actual home defense, or offense if you're a law enforcement or military or whatnot. But we never, ever skip bullseye training. Or just marksmanship training. We never ever skip bullseye training. In the Marine Corps, you have to qualify once a year if you're not deployed or something like that, and we have to fire out to 500 yards is what we would have to do. We just had iron sights at the time. Nowadays they use their ACOGs and whatnot, but us at the time, we just had the iron sights on our M16A2s. Now the Army also has qualification, but not all of the units follow it, and their qualification course, looking at it, is kind of a joke compared to the Marine Corps. I'm not saying that to try to get people angry. I've done both. So the Marine Corps, you have to qualify 100 yards. You have to qualify 200 yards, 300 yards, or is it meters? 100 meters, 200 meters, 300 meters, and you have to qualify at 500 meters. You cannot skip those ranges whatsoever. You have to qualify on them. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. You have to qualify on it. Whereas the Army, when I did the Army qualification, there was targets that went all the way out to 300 yards, I think a little bit farther than 300 yards. But the targets kind of flipped and went different ways, so the second they'd hit, they'd kind of flip. And it was a point-based system. So after you would hit, say, a 50-yard target, it would close, and then it would pop back and close, and pop back, and 100 would close and pop back. And I can tell you from firsthand experience when I was in the National Guard doing this training, it's amazing how the only targets that are actually turning on the entire fire line are the 50s and the 100s, 50, 100, 50, 100. That's all they're doing, because it's a point-based system. They're basing their marksmanship, oh, I'm a sharpshooter. Dude, you only shot out to 100 yards. Not even. 50 to 100 yards, and you're just going back and forth between the two. That is not marksmanship. Can you hit the target? Great. You can hit the target 50, 100 yards. Start pushing a little bit farther in wind and see what happens. So there's a difference between the two. I'm not making fun of the Army course or anything like that. I've had experience with both of them. And Marine Corps rifleman, being a Marine Corps rifleman is definitely, you have to do it. You have to be a Marine Corps rifleman. You have to be able to hit those targets all the way out to 500 meters or yards. I forgot exactly what it was. That's what it's a requirement. You have to. So with that in mind, we would never skip the qualification unless we were deployed. Now, in those, we would also do regular shooting occasionally, which was going out, and it was basically bullseye shooting. We do bullseye shooting. We do it from our various positions, from the kneeling position, from the standing position, from the prone, and from the sitting position. You would just go and practice and do this stuff. And then after we've done that a ton of times, you've done the qualifications, then you go out and do your CQB training, which is presentation drills, going out and hit the target. Now, what I'm saying in this video is bullseye training is, a lot of people don't take it seriously. Bullseye training builds marksmanship. 100%. Bullseye training builds that basic marksmanship. Just 100% is what it does. Whereas the tactical training, it teaches you how to move, which you have to know how to do. It teaches you how to shoot behind cover, which you have to know how to do. But if you don't have good marksmanship, then you're making really bad hits, or you're not hitting the target when you're under stress, or under duress, or however we want to say it, in a situation like that. So you need to focus on bullseye training. You cannot skip bullseye training. I'm not saying don't do tactical training. You have to do both. But when it comes down to it, bullseye training is a lot more important from the get-go than it is with the tactical training, because in order to make those good shots for tactical training, be able to stop a threat before the threat stops you, you have to hit it in the thoracic cavity if possible, which is the center line, basically from here. Center line, you're looking for the spine is what you're aiming at. You have to be able to hit it in the thoracic cavity, and you have to be able to hit it quickly and effectively and accurately. So whenever I'm out training, you see I'm an IDPA target and stuff like that too. I don't focus on the whole target in fast shooting. I focus on the actual bullseyes. All right, the bullseyes is where I shoot. And occasionally I'll grab the targets with a really tiny circles, and I'll push it out as far as I possibly can just to see how well I can hit the target. Because I know that marksmanship training, that bullseye training, will help you grow and become a much better tactical shooter in the future. Because if you've done enough bullseye training in the world and you develop that like marksmanship till it's second nature to you, to it's muscle memory to you, then when you move up to tactical training, you are going to be hitting every single target that appears to you. And in a worst case scenario where you have to defend your life and the life of your family, you're gonna hit the target. All right, so anyway guys, if you like this video, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about me, and remember guys, it's our responsibility to take care of each other and protect each other. Peace.